a team that once beat 3 giants in a single summer. A goal scored from inside a player's own half, and a pretty long record that will be hardly broken. Let's go! Let's begin with South Korea. Back in 2002, this team did something no other Asian country has ever done at a World Cup. Something people in Korea still talk about today. Playing at home that year, with the whole nation dressed in red, the South Korean team, called the Taeguk Warriors, reached the semifinals, the last 4 teams in the entire world. On the way, they knocked out Portugal, then Italy, then Spain. 3 giants, 1 unforgettable summer. And today, in Guadalajara, South Korea, fell 0-1 to Mexico in a tight, exciting game. Mexico scored by taking advantage of a miscommunication between the South Korean goalkeeper and his defender that Romo simply had to kick in. The Taeguk Warriors tried to come back, including a ball saved by the Mexicans right over the line. At the end, it wasn't enough for South Korea. 2 games, 2 victories for the Mexican team, who dream of going further than ever before. And over in Atlanta, Czechia drew 1-1 with South Africa. Czechia started with a very early goal, then followed by an even game where both teams were pushing each other. And just when it seemed time was about to run out, the women referee trio whistled a penalty that South Africa managed to score in some of the final minutes. A relief for the South Africans, who are still alive in the cup, and now depending on a victory in their last game next week. Czechia has a player who once did something magical. At a big tournament a few years ago, Patrick Schick spotted the goalkeeper standing too far forward, so from inside his own half, almost the whole length of the pitch, he lobbed the ball up, over him, and into the net. People still watch that goal today. In Los Angeles, Switzerland beat Bosnia and Herzegovina 4-1. And despite both teams constantly pushing to score, none of them managed to do it. Finally, what seemed to be a goalless game suddenly turned upside down, with all goals happening after minute 74. That's 5 goals in a bit over 15 minutes. And with a double pack from young talent Johan Manzambi, only 3 minutes after coming from the bench. What a game of surprises! Here's a fun fact about Switzerland. In 2006, they set the record for the longest streak in World Cup history without conceding a single goal. They kept a clean sheet through all 3 group stage matches. And then, in the round of 16, they lost to Ukraine on penalties. The streak came to an end in 2010, setting a World Cup record of 559 consecutive minutes without conceding. And although they don't seem like a new team at all, this is only the 2nd World Cup for the Bosnian Dragons. They made their tournament debut in 2014 in Brazil, where they recorded their first ever World Cup victory with a 3-1 win over Iran. And now, they secured their 2nd ever appearance by defeating Italy in the penalties in a dramatic playoff to reach the 2026 World Cup. And up in Vancouver, Canada won 6-0 against Qatar. Canada dominated the entire game, and despite Qatar's efforts, it was a very strong statement from the host nation. And it was also their first victory in a World Cup. Canada's dream is still alive. Canada's Jonathan David is their all-time leading scorer, now playing in Italy for Juventus. And Qatar's Almoz Ali is their top scorer too, with Akram Afif, twice named the best player in Asia, setting up the chances beside him. Every nation here carries something special. That's what I love about this tournament. And there's more tomorrow! So tell me, which player deserves their own Simon story? What do you think? Write in the comments. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. I'm Simon. See you tomorrow.